my god. Honestly, give it a whirl. That's to die for.
I said in my store cupboard video that you could make special treats for your kids with plain flour that would cost a fraction of what you would buy for sweets in the shops. So I'm going to show you what you can actually make. Now I'm going to call this my store cupboard blondies. So we're starting off with 170 grams of plain old butter or margarine. It is better if you use butter in this instance if you've got it in the house. I've had it in a pan. I'll put that on now for you so you can see what I did with it.
There's 170 grams of butter in my pan. It's melting slowly over a low heat, and I'm going to let it come to a bubble, stir it constantly while it's bubbling, and let it brown slightly. Let it go a nice nutty colour. And then we're going to take it off the heat and let it cool. The reason I'm stirring it is because I don't want these bits, see these bits, they're called solids. We don't want them to catch on the bottom of the pan and burn. We want it to colour but not burn.
And what I'm going to add to that is 280 grams of brown sugar. Another thing that I said to have in your store cupboard is some sugar, and soft light brown sugar is a good one as well because it gives a lovely toffee texture, as does the brown butter. So we're going to pop that in, and what we're going to do with that is we're going to whisk it together. It only needs to come together, it doesn't need to do anything else. And I just want to give a shout out to Cupcake Gemma for this one because I don't know much about blondies, but I've had this recipe of Cupcake Gemma for a while, and I thought I'll give you, it's worked a few times for me. All I do is change the ingredients that are in it. But the basic recipe is Cupcake Gemma's, and she's so good at it. So I'll link her site down below for you if you want to go and have a look at hers, because she's ever so good at it. Anyway. So that's our sugar and our butter put together. Just pop that in there because we're going to need it. And then what we're going to do next is we're going to take 2 large eggs. Again, we need these in our store cupboard. Don't go rolling anywhere. So, can see that going on the floor, can't we? So there's that one. And the second one. Ooh, if I can get it in there. We will get that in there too. They're having problems with eggs these days. I don't know what's going on with them, but they seem to be getting a bit, I don't know, the shells seem to break up quite easy. And along with that, we're going to put in, as she says, a tablespoon of vanilla extract. I have to say this is one of the nicest recipes I've come across really. Some of them don't work very well, but this one really does. So mix those together, just until they're nicely combined. I think my bowl's a bit small. And once you've got it all mixed together, that's the beauty of it. You're not baking unless you make a mess. That's all I can say. Once you've got it all mixed together, those were large eggs by the way guys. Let's get rid of that to one side. Bring your bowl back over, just pop your spatula to one side as well, and we're going to whisk the eggs into the sugar mixture. Make sure you get all your egg out, you want all that in there. The thing about blondies, once you've got the basic recipe, it's easy then to adapt it to whatever you actually want to put in it yourself. So once you've got the recipe down, put whatever you want in there. So give it a good whisk, and it should get paler as you do it. You just pick it up because it's easier, and give it welly. And as you can see, I don't know if you can see here, but it is getting paler. And that's what we're after. Just give it a good whisk. Doesn't have to be too much. but it will get paler, and that's what we're after. Okay, once we've done that, put that to one side, and then it's our chance to pop some stuff in. So I'm choosing just to basically clean out my store cupboard. So in my store cupboard, I'll show you, woohoo! I'll show you what I found. Here we go. I found some pecan nuts, some Rolos that have been sitting there for a wee while, some fudge pieces that I've had for a while, and some chocolate chips. So they're all going to get used up in my fudge brownies. This is some miniature Rolos that I had sitting in the house. It was from Easter or something, I can't remember. And they've been sitting there for ages going, eat me, eat me. So what I've done is, I thought going into this, and they can get passed around the family or whatever. And there's some, I've kept a few nuts to one side. There's 170 grams of nuts and 200 grams of chocolate here. So you could change the chocolate up if you wanted to, it's up to you. Pop them back into here because we're not actually going to use them just yet, but we do need them ready for the next step. We're going to add the flour to our mixture. So we're done with our whisk. Let's take a sieve, and we're going to add in here 225 grams of plain flour, along with 1 teaspoon of baking powder and half a teaspoon of salt. Salt's important to balance the flavours. When you've got a lot of sweet things going on, you really do need the salt to give it a bit of a helping hand. Really helps it along. So don't forget to shove your lumps through the sieve. Pop that there. And then what we're going to do is fold in our ingredients with a spatula. And just don't overmix at this stage, please, people, because it won't be very nice. Your blondie won't be very nice. Now this is the stage here where if you're not adding anything, you can then add it to a tin once it's mixed in. It'll cover an 8x8 tin. It smells like caramel. Just keep going, everybody. It's lovely. Just folding over. We don't want to overdo it. Just over. Because what we're going to do now is add our mixings. So pop them all in. Look at that. And then turn over. Turn over. I know there's bits of flour still there, don't worry, just keep turning, everybody. We'll do it before all the flour's completely gone so we don't overdo it. Just keep turning. Nearly there. How do I know I'm nearly there? So the best way to check really is just to push your spatula through, and if it comes through and it looks like it's right the way through, which this does, then we're going to go and put it in a tin. So this is a 9x9 tin, I think, actually, but it will fit an 8x8 tin. I'm just doing it in a 9x9 because it's all I've got at the moment. And what we're going to do is pop that all in there. Let's see. I'm never very good at doing it to camera, so do apologise, everybody, if this goes belly up, which is more than likely to be. But here we go. Pop it all in. And then we'll spread it about. At least it's evenly distributed. Right, now I've saved some stuff to pop on the top. I'm sure everybody will be pleased about. So I've got some Rolos here, which everybody will be chuffed a bit with. So and then put some pecans on. And there you have. Now we're going to put this in the oven, gas spark for about 30 minutes, until when you put a skewer in, there's hardly anything left on it.
So this has just come out the oven, and I'm just going to check to see if it's ready or not. So a skewer going in, there's little bits of batter coming out on it. That means that it's got it's not quite done in the middle, which is how we want it. So we're going to leave that to cool and cut it up. And it's cooled down, thankfully. See, I can touch it. So what I'm going to do is cut it into squares. And as it is so sweet, it's got lots of chocolate in it, lots of sugar, I'm going to cut it into small squares. So I'm going to start by halving, and then halving again. So let's see, I've sharpened my knife. So hopefully this should be easy, she says. So, and there is nuts in here, so woohoo! That means okay. So I suppose we want to see a piece, don't we? So I'll show you an edge piece first of all. Oh, look at that. Now then. Look at that. I'll just bring it up closer so you can see. Look at that, nice and gooey in the middle. Nice and crispy on the edge. And yes.
Oh my God. Praise to Cupcake Jenna for this one. And praise to me for the old straw cupboard. Honestly, give it a whirl. That's to die for.
Anyway, enjoy. Liz out.